Okay, guys, another somewhat boring day for the SPY, just in this narrow range, typical August trading, but super day in the chat room. Again, we're doing a really good job as a team of finding the big ones. And the watch list for tomorrow, let's just start with GBR. Had this huge intraday move today. We actually caught this one on a break of this opening 15-minute range, about 386 idea. And I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, it was up over 560. It actually had an upside volatility halt, and we got in right there. That was, I don't know, like 7 cents risk or something. That one made my day. This one deserves to be on watch again. I do not like the fact that it round tripped, so that makes it much less interesting. But these huge spikes that it's having, I've got to, as a day trader, I've got to have that one on a chart. All right. LPTN, man, one of our members, Carrie, called this long right here, and I just missed it. That's a great call. We already had this on watch for today, and then it had this little flag after gapping down, and the thing made a huge move. Gave back a lot of that move too, but I'm still gonna watch that one tomorrow. I like the way it's moving, so it goes on watch. SI. I have so much trouble typing this symbol for some reason. SITO was on watch today. No trades in it, but I like the volume a few days ago, and then it's come down for a couple days. Closing at its highs today, potential long tomorrow. One of those low floaters. Man, I can't type tonight. DGLY ended up closing below its open after the gap up. I believe it gapped up on an upgrade. I did catch an afternoon trade, and I like this little flag right here. Came back from lunch and said, you know what, guys, if this gets through the high of the day, it might get a little upside momentum and push towards recent highs of 7, and we've got a nice tight flag here. So I called it at 662. I thought if it breaks this flag, if you look to the left, that's very close to a high of day break. I call that stacked catalysts. I like when a little flag break has another catalyst just above. That's exactly what you have with DGLY and a low float stock. 662 ID, I think the stop was 650, and we got that move to 7. All right. So if you're a day trader, this little 10 to 15 minute move can make you some nice extra money. I think I got an extra $400 on my day just on that trade, not counting some of the big ones today. So even though it closed below its open, it's still, I like the way it got some volume coming in there on that little flag pop and high of day break. So it did give some, it did give that pop back, but I'm going to put it on watch for the next several days just to see if it gives another good setup. SPHS, this one had a really nice, if you go to intraday candles, this thing had a powerful close. So while it's not in a great spot on the daily chart, and I don't know if there was news involved here, I want to keep that one on watch, all right? For the next several days. That's SPHS, SORL, gapped up and ripped, and now we're 3 days lower on almost no volume. That one goes on bounce watch. It moved really nicely the other day. EBIO, just a recent high flyer that's 3 days lower on lower volume, potential bounce play. WUBA, I try to have at least one stock that's pretty beaten up today for a potential bounce tomorrow. We'll look for a very specific setup in chat on those type of stocks. So if it sets up, we'll have a trade in it. STEM just goes back on bounce watch. Anytime a stock moves from 50 cents to $3, I'm going to watch that for the next several days. No trades in it for me today, but it goes on watch. OCUL, nice breakout up into this gap here. And now we're, 3 days lower on declining volumes. Worth watching for a turn back up. INVN, similar scenario. Big 2-day pop and then 3 days lower on declining volume. Well, goes back on bounce watch for tomorrow. TWLO, a massive move here. Recent new issue. And now we're 3 days lower. I think that one still needs to come in some, but you know what? It's probably over $10 off its highs from a few days ago. So I'm going to put that on potential bounce watch tomorrow. And then lastly, ORPN, kind of a quiet setup here, but really nice support below. You had this pop back here, and then it's back up kind of right at those highs. So this one is worth watching tomorrow. All right, we're going to work together in the chat room as a team and build a list of gappers in the pre-market as well. Plus, we'll be watching these stocks I just gave you. All right, have a good night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.